Yeah, I'm like, I can feel my team being like, oh, you think it's so easy? They're just like, I want to be clear that simple but not easy, right? Like there is rigorous and hard work that goes into the people function, and there's like a very elaborate, beautiful infrastructure in how you create an employee experience and how. But what I mostly mean is part of that feeling of separateness when I was in those roles before that I talked about. And I was, even I would go to like an HR conference and I just would be like looking around, like, I just was like, what are you talking about? Like, why? Why? Or, they'd have like, I'm trying to think of a real life example, but as always, I'll exaggerate for effect. It would be like, people are happier when you give them free lunch. Here's like 72 pieces of data that we've measured our happiness lunch score, and it's like gone up and it's gone down. Just like endless slides of just stuff where you're like, yeah, people like lunch. And it's not that deep. I think there's just this feeling of almost like, in many cases, coming at a problem in the HR space, and there's a propensity to make it sound really sophisticated or really hard to solve. And then you just like kind of zoom out, and it's actually just like a simple thing, a human thing. I often talk to my team about like the approach of what would a normal human being do in this situation? Like if you go down, I'll give you an example, parental leave. You're going to maybe take some, or you're in a small business. Maybe, let's pretend you worked at a big company and you're going to take parental leave. If I go down on the elevator and go ask someone on the street, hey, do you think when Daniel goes out on leave, we should dock his pay while he's taking care of his child? They'd be like, no. Like, why would someone make less money because they were like in a phase of life where they needed to take care of their family? But that's indeed how a lot of companies and structures work, right? You go on leave, you get state disability, you get these benefits, et cetera. They're going to pay a portion of your salary, but you're going to take a big hit. And so what Strava does, and what I know a lot of companies do, but what I believe is the right thing to do, is top your salary up. Like, you're going through a lot. It costs a lot of money to have a kid. Let's not like make you get a discount on your salary because you're out for a few months. And so that's how I try to orient the work, is what would a normal human being do in this situation? Who cared about people, who was kind? And then how far from what we can do are we, like, with that? So we usually have really practical approaches. And that doesn't mean we don't value data. We do. We use data all the time, but we don't use it where we already know. Like, we already know what the right thing to do is in a situation. I'd rather use our team's resources on stuff we don't know, but we know a lot.